All right, everybody. This is Paul McMillan II, and welcome to another live session. And it is December 8th, 2021. So we're going to take a look at Forex Factory. As we can see, the New York session started maybe about 30 to 40 minutes ago. And in the London session, the euro dollar was under some major news. But they're saying here it started at 10 a.m. The US dollar and the Canadian dollar is going to be under major news today. And then starting on the Asian session, you see that the Australian dollar is going to be under some major news. So we're going to be trading NAS100. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my rules, steps. Of course, the first step is to mark up market structure from the 15-minute to the 4-hour. So let's do that. Pause this recording until I get to that point. All right, so I'm all the way at the beginning. So I'm going to put my vertical line here. So now I'm going to start marking up market structure based off of institutional levels. All right. So I'm just basically marking up, market structure based off of these levels. All right. I will put one more up here. All right. So now what I'm going to do is actually draw my supply demand zones off of these levels. So I'm just doing this off of the body of the candle all the way down to the wick. All right. So I marked up all of these so far for the 30 minutes. So we're going to go, 15 minutes. We're going to go to the 30-minute. All right. So now I'm going to mark up these zones here. That's a good level here. You know, that's a good level. Right here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and draw my supported demand zones off of these levels here. Change this to green. All right, so did the 30-minute. So we're gonna move on to the 1 minute, 1 hour. Do all this here. There we go. All right. Then I'm going to draw my supply and demand zones off of these. All right. So we did that. Let's go to the 4 hour. Looks like we got everything marked up perfectly all the way to the current price. So now that we did that, we want to go back to the 15-minute. So as you can see, we done marked up everything perfectly on the 15-minute. Now what I'm probably going to do, yeah, I'm just going to keep these zones the way they're drawn. If I have to delete this because it's in the way, then I'll do that. Matter of fact, I might just delete the zone, and then if I need to redraw it, I will. All right, so now that we've completed the first step, second step we need to complete is actually identify the trend. And as we can actually see here, you can see that price did trend up all the way up until this point. It was considered overbought in this area. So this is our supply zone. So price is really considered overbought, kind of like up in this area. So when we look at the RSI, it looks like price is trending down. So now the next thing, so it's a possibility that price could be heading a little bit more bearish before mitigating maybe this area and then deciding to go up again, or it may just come down and mitigate a little bit of this area and then go up too. So price is in the process of trending down. You can see lower lows, lower highs here, okay? So the next thing we want to do is we want to locate, the last Harami candle, and as well as order blocks. But before I even do that, I'm going to turn on my higher high and lower low risk strategy indicator, because I want to try to actually identify breakout. So let me actually kind of get in. So I'm going to raise this zone as well. I'm going to place my break retest zones for my supply demand. Supply demand break and retest zones. Actually, price actually just broke this one, so I'm actually going to do this here. Probably more appropriate. It's like price is already kind of dropping real quick, but I want to see, break and retest. So that's what I'm going to do with this one here. So now that we're doing that, then that's when I'm going to actually turn this off and turn on my order block indicator. So when we really look at this last impulsive move to the upside from this uptrend, it created a lot of imbalance to where it put the banks in major profit, but because of these sell orders not being filled because of the instant insufficiency in price, it also put them in negative as well. Negative profit. There's a possibility they could come back down and mitigate maybe half of this area and then probably bring it back up and shoot it up. Or they could just send price all the way down to this next zone. So now the last Harami candle that I see is actually here. So I could realistically put a horizontal line here or a zone and look at this as maybe them mitigating all this area and then bringing price up. Of course, technically the last one was down here as well, but I don't think they're going to bring price all the way down. They're probably going to bring it down and mitigate this area, buy it up, and then eventually sell it all the way down. So with that being the case, so then now that I identified, the Harami candle and imbalances, so now it's time for me to plan my trade. So I'm looking for them to see if they would mitigate this area of price sells. Now, if it does, it's definitely more than enough pips if it goes down to even mitigating this area. So I'm just going to mark certain areas here, like here, see if they mitigate all that area. So now another thing too is when price created all this imbalance here, they did eventually make it up and mitigate this area. So I don't see any more imbalances up to here, but they could fill this imbalance maybe down to here and here and then bring price back up again. They could do that. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start planning my trades. And we'll just wait for the 9:30 bell. So here's how we're gonna do it. So we're gonna take our risk to reward tool. Put that here. Kind of already, it didn't break and retest this, so I'm gonna still put it here. First take profit, second take profit, no question. And I'm gonna move this over. And so this, I'm sorry. Just 71 plus. So 970 plus. $1,800 plus pips, right? So that's if price sells. We'll just put our risk to reward for a sell here. Now we're going to do it for the buy. So let's say price buys up and it breaks this, zone here. Then it's only like 200 pips. We'll definitely get it here. Which would be take profit 1,500 plus. Over 1,100 pips for this one. All right. So that's what we're going to do for that. So now that we plant these trades, we're going to turn on the Delorean EMA indicator. Looks like the yellow EMA has already crossed the red EMA here, so it might be ready for a sell. But we want to wait for the 930 bell and see which way price is going to go. The way I use the Dorlean EMA is, of course, I jump in on trades when the yellow EMA crosses the red EMA on top of all my other confirmations. So if it makes sense that price is going to go a certain direction to fill in certain imbalances, and the cross is confirming that on top of that, along with my market structure and everything else and price action, the more likely I'm going to get into that trade, whether it's a buy or a sell. I see this cross here, so I could probably see maybe them bringing price halfway to here and then buying it up. Or they might just drop it all the way down. But if for some reason they decide to buy it up for whatever reason, then I could try to get my pips here before price is really considered overbought, and then boom. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually set my alarms for my take profit zones. And then we're going to wait for the 930 bell and then see what price decides to do. Let me pause this recording and do that. All right, so now that my alarms are set for my take profit zones, we're going to see at the 930 bell which direction price decided to go. They did mitigate most of this area, so they're probably going to try to mitigate all of this area, at least maybe down to this point or down to this point, and then buy it back up again. Because if they do an imbalance move to fill in all this here, it's going to create an imbalance move that they're going to have to buy up and actually in order to fill as well. Maybe even possibly create a new all-time high that's higher than this one, possibly. So we'll wait for the 930 bell. It's 9:03, so we got less than 30 minutes, and we'll see what price decides to do. So stay tuned. All right, so to give you guys an update, it's 9:22, so we have less than 10 minutes before the final bell. Something tells me that this is what is probably going to happen, but we don't know for sure unless it happens. But I'm thinking that they're probably going to drive price to at least fill this imbalance here. Then they may decide to reverse price and shoot it back up again, or just continue to shoot it down all the way to this point where this last Harami candle was, and then maybe bring it back up again. So we'll see, but I think it's going to sell just because the direction is heading. But we'll see. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to buy straight up and just make price overbought again. So we'll see. So we got less than 10 minutes. So I'll be right back. All right, so it's 9:30. Looks like price is dropping. So I'll go ahead and take a shot at its sell. Let's just give it a shot, see what happens. Yeah, it's pushing down, and I'm hoping I didn't jump on it too quick, but we'll see. Share my screen. Yeah, it's really dropping. So once, yep, 12:15, there we go. There we go. $18. It dropped just like I thought it would. Ooh-wee, drop early. Boom. So now what I'm going to do is yep, it dropped. So I'm going to take a picture of this. Let me pause this recording and do something real quick. Be right back. All right, so as you can see, price did from here to here, that was about yeah, that was about 712 pips. So they might mitigate this area and then probably start swinging price back up since they mitigated this, or they might drop it further. So let me share my phone screen one more time. Then we're going to end this session. Just so proof that I got this documented. And I'm going to post this in my group. There we go. 712 pips. Even it went down a little bit further than that. Got me an $18 profit on the smallest lot size, 0.01. So if I had traded this at $2 or $5 per pip, this could have easily been a $300 profit or more. So that's it for this session. I might do a back testing session on this, but that's it. See you guys next time. Bye.